Hi friends, welcome to the second episode of the Sunday Knitting Society podcast. My name is Chelsea and I'm a knitter in Oklahoma City. If you are a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And thank you. Oh my goodness, guys. You blew me away this week, or the last 3 weeks. Wow. I really and truly thought I was gonna cap out at 25 subscribers and it was gonna be mostly family and friends and maybe like a few strangers who found me on YouTube. But we're over 1,300 subscribers in 3 weeks, which to some people that's nothing, but to me that's insane. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone who left a comment. Those were all so sweet. I really enjoyed reading all of them. I tried to respond or like all of them. And it definitely encouraged me to keep going. So thanks. I will say it is a little bit more terrifying now because last time I was just talking to my phone in my guest room. And now I know people are watching. So I'm still talking to my phone in my guest room, AKA the yarn store. But yeah, now there are going to be potentially 1,300 of you watching. That makes me a little nervous. Also, fun fact or fun turn of events, my neighbors are having a garage sale right now. And so I'm sitting right in front of the window where all the cars are driving by. So yay. There's also a lot of people who've been walking their dogs this morning, which I enjoy because I like looking at other people's dogs. I think I like how most women react to a baby. That's how I react to a puppy or a dog. Anyway, so obviously I'm not wearing any knitwear. Oklahoma City is still basically in summer. It's gotten a little bit cooler, but we're still, I think right now it's like 80s. I think today we're gonna get up to the mid 90s. And that's just not pleasant to wear. And that's where, sorry, there's like a fly in here and it's kind of driving me crazy. It's like, they always go for your eyes. Why do they go for your eyes? Maybe that doesn't happen to anybody else, but it happens to me. But anyway, so I thought I would show my first sock and my first sweater today. I'm gonna take a sip. I'm drinking some coffee and I'm drinking out of my God Save the Queen mug. I actually bought this recently, which is kind of sad, but I'm drinking in her honor today. Anyway, so I mentioned last time that I started knitting because I lost a sock that I loved. So the plan was to learn to knit socks, and then I did, and they were terrible. And so I found the sock, and I thought you guys could get a good laugh out of it. This is it. It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, it cracks me up every time I see it. First of all, what's going on here? I don't even know what that is. I'm almost certain that this was like bamboo yarn from Hobby Lobby. I think I probably paid maximum $1 for this amount of yarn. It's DK weight, if not worsted. Okay, sorry. Oh, I almost got it, guys. Sorry, that's really gross, actually. Maybe I should deal with this real quick. Let me deal with this real quick. I don't think I actually dealt with it. I think it ran away. Flew away. But it'll probably come back and bother me again. So anyway, so this, I'm pretty sure this is DK, if not worsted weight, that I think I still knit on a tiny needle. I use DPNs. I actually did a pretty good heel flap and gusset for my first time, I think. But then I guess I got frustrated and bored, and I knit like 3 inches, 2 inches of foot, and then started the toe. And I mean, I think I Kitchenered this. Okay, so this isn't the biggest failure, because Kitchenering isn't easy. But this is like the length of the foot. I would show you my foot but that would involve some aerobics here, and I'm not going to do that. But yeah, that doesn't fit my foot. That would fit like a size, like, I don't even know what size that would fit. It would fit a tiny person's foot. So when I put it on, it basically, my heel is like here, and then this just flaps on the ankle. So it's pretty bad, but just to prove that I can actually knit socks. I had a friend at one point that taught me magic loop, and that changed the game for me. So these are the DRK everyday socks. You knit from the toe up. I think it's actually a short row heel, if I remember right. And then they don't normally look this funky at the top. This time I tried to do like, I don't remember, was it Jenny's super stretchy bind off or some other kind of stretchy bind off, and it ended up looking kind of funky. I have big calves, which I can thank my dad for. But it does mean that a lot of times, like, the ankle will fit really well, the foot will fit really well, and then it's really tight on my calf. And so this was my attempt to make it fit my calf better. I don't know if that actually worked, but I don't like the way this looks. So I have not done this again. But I believe this yarn is Woolens and Nosh, which is self-striping. I love her stuff. I actually got her Advent sock last year, which I really liked. But yeah, I don't remember the colorway. But so I can knit socks. So the other request I had, or comments I had from a lot of you, was that you wanted me to go through some of my sweaters. My goal was actually to wear a different sweater each time and kind of go over it, but obviously it's too hot, so I thought I would show you my first sweater, because I think this first sweater tells you a lot about me. The way my brain works is that if I can understand the theory behind something, I usually can get it. So when I started thinking about knitting a sweater, if I had just followed a pattern, I don't think I would have liked knitting sweaters. So I actually did a method by Elizabeth Zimmerman. I got her book, The Opinionated Knitter, when I was in college, I think. And she does it by a formula. So you knit a swatch and you figure out what your gauge is, both stitch and row gauge. And then I believe you measure your bust, and that's your 100%. And then everything else is a percentage of that. So like your collar is going to be like 20 or 25%, and I don't remember the numbers exactly. I'm just making this up, but your sleeves would be whatever percent. And so you know, if this is 100%, then this many stitches is going to make 20% for your collar. And she actually has you go bottom up, and then you join the sleeves and you do your yoke, and she does a round yoke. So I actually don't love bottom up sweaters now, but for this it was actually really helpful. So this was, I had already learned to knit in the round, I think, yeah, but I'd never done color work before. So of course this is what I picked. The other thing is she gives you the, like, it's kind of a choose your own adventure if I remember right. So she gives you a few different like motifs you can choose, and so I think I pieced all the motifs together too and then picked all my colors, which honestly kind of seems wild to me now. So I used Cascade 220, I believe. I have no idea what the color names are. I don't even think I have this in Ravelry. I think this was before I had discovered Ravelry. But there are a lot of things about this I'm really proud of. Like, for first time color work, I think that's amazing. Honestly, I mean, I probably wouldn't have picked the same colors nowadays, but it's like, there's no puckering. It's all neat. Like, what? I can't knit this neat of color work now. What else? So fun thing about it, I'm pretty sure the way she has you do sleeves is I think you're supposed to keep your decreases kind of towards the back of the sleeve so that it doesn't show at the front. And I got my sleeves turned around, and I'm pretty sure I put them on the wrong side. So the yeah, the armpits look kind of funky because I'm pretty sure I like sewed them on wrong, and that was supposed to be in the back. something about it, I don't remember exactly. I also, looking at this now, I think maybe, yeah, I did. I put the back in the front. I also knit this at a really tight gauge, and it took me forever because I was in school and I didn't have a lot of time to work on this. And actually, so, okay, kind of going back. I had not learned about ease, or the concept of ease, at the time I knit this sweater. So if you are not familiar with that is, it's basically how loose you want or how tight fitting you want your garment to fit. So if you want 0 ease, it is going to be next to skin, no extra fabric. If you want like 5 inches of ease, then whatever your like boast measurement is, you add 5 inches to that. So like this top, I don't even know how much ease it has, probably a lot. It's just very loose and it fits well. If it were 0 ease or negative ease, it would be like skin tight. So I didn't understand ease, and so when Elizabeth Zimmerman told me to measure my bust, and that's my 100%, that's what I went with. I didn't add anything to it. So this sweater was already going to be snug, and then by the time I'd finished it, I'd actually gained weight. So it was very snug, and I've actually never worn it, which is kind of sad. It's just kind of stayed in my like my sweater museum over here, which is sad. But it's also, it is knitted at a pretty tight gauge, and Cascade 220 is not super scratchy, but it's not super soft either. And I think at the time, I think there was like 220 regular and 220 superwash, and the superwash was definitely softer, but I couldn't afford it, and so I did just the plain, and it's definitely itchy. I could probably wear it now. It's just so heavy because it's so tightly knit and the gauge is so tight that this would be something I'd have to wear when it was really cold outside, because I would like sweat and die in this thing now. So that's one of my sweaters. Sorry, I got yarn in my coffee. Like a fuzz. Okay, let's get, oh, I just flicked coffee on my wall. 1 minute. All right, I'm back. Okay, so I'm gonna try to go through a sweater or some knitted item, I don't know what word I was just trying to say. Item, one of my knitted garments every time I podcast. Hopefully I'll get to wear some of them soon, but Oklahoma weather is not cooperating. So I have a few FOs this week. They are all hats, and you've never seen any of them before. So the first one is a hat for me. So this is the Parkview hat by Tracey Millar from the Grocery Girls. I absolutely love this pattern. I have knit it probably 10 times. I have it fully memorized. I love it because it fits everyone. I think I knit the smaller size. I don't remember, but it's super simple. It fits easy. It's not too slouchy, but you can make it slouchier if you want by just adding more length before you do your crown decreases. I don't really want to look like a hipster, so I don't put more slouch in it, but you could. I like it. It's not too tight. I probably could make it just a little tighter if I wanted to, but I'm okay with this. It's nice. So I knit this during church. I have a little bit of ADHD, and I find it really hard to sit still and listen to somebody talk without being able to do something. And so knitting actually helps me pay attention better. And I resisted it, bringing it to church for so long because I didn't want to distract anybody, but I tried it one Sunday and realized that nobody cares. Like literally nobody pays any attention to me. Occasionally somebody will kind of lean over and ask me what I'm making. That's really it. So I typically knit hats or socks during church. I call them my Sunday hats and my Sunday socks. So this is one, I just finished it last week, 2 weeks ago. So there's that. This is knit in the Lamb and Kid Todd, which is what I'm making my Monday sweater in, not my Friday sweater. Which is a cashmere and yak blend, and it's delightful. I believe this is the Cinder colorway, so highly recommend. I think I did actually goof up on here at one point. Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's not bad. Right there. Well, actually, yeah, you really can't see it. I think I did fix it pretty well. The other hats are baby hats. Look how cute they are. Oh, I keep showing people the back, which is where the stripes are. I actually don't think my stripe transition is that bad. It's definitely noticeable, but it's not bad. They're subtle stripes. I wasn't going to get fussy about it. So this is the classic baby hats by Purl Soho, which is free patterns. It's really pretty much the same pattern. It's really just one hat pattern, but they give you different options for the brim. So like I did a 2x2 on this one. They have a roll brim option, and then I just decided to do a 1x1 because I actually like the way 1x1 looks better. So there are a few three families in my church that are having babies very soon. I think one of them's already born. So there's gonna be 2 girls and a boy. Sorry, a girl, a boy, and one they don't know the gender of. So I know colors aren't necessarily gender specific, but I like making pink hats for little girls. So that's the one for the girl. This is the gender neutral one, just plain gray. And then I just started the third one, and it's gonna be forest green and have these gray stripes in it. So I'll probably finish that. These don't take long at all. These take me about 5 hours. They're knit on a size 2 needle, which is pretty small. I actually like this so much, I kind of want to make one for me. Just scale it up to an adult size hat and see if it works. It'll take a lot longer for, I have a big noggin. So that is all of my FOs. Let's get into some whips. The first one, I'm annoyed because I said wrong the whole last podcast. It is not the Friday sweater, it's the Monday sweater. So I finished the body and one arm or sleeve I just finished this morning. I find this ironic because I love this sweater so much and I hate Mondays. I loathe Mondays. I actually have a personal rule that I am not allowed to make any big decisions on a Monday because I would probably choose to quit and move to another country. So it's best to wait till Tuesday and make more rational decisions. But so I think this sweater might be my new favorite petite knit sweater. And that's saying a lot because I really like the no frills. I love the neckline on this. I love that it's kind of a boxy, relaxed fit. I love this color. I love this yarn. Do you like my little stitch marker fringe? The way I do my sleeves, just so I kind of keep track, and this is not unique to me, this is just the way that I like to do it, is every time I do a decrease, I mark it. And then when I knit the second sleeve, when I do a decrease, I move the stitch marker over until I get to the top. And then I usually leave the top one. And this time I actually put a marker where I started the ribbing because sometimes I find it a little hard to count where the ribbing starts. And that way I can make sure I have the same amount of rows from here to here on the second sleeve. But yeah, I love this. Now, I did mention last time that I had some color blocking, which you can actually see right around where that stitch marker is. There's like a big stripe of lighter colored yarn, because I ended up actually getting 2 dye lots, which is not a big deal. I just didn't think it through too well, and then I started striping it. You can see. So what I'm gonna try to do is block this in really hot water. I know that probably scares a lot of people. I'm not going to agitate it at all. So I'm basically gonna get my tub of really hot water and we'll wash and just put the sweater on top and let it soak in and fall. That way I'm not creating any risk for felting. And then I'm gonna leave it in there until the water is completely cool. And I'm hoping that leads to some color bleeding and the colors kind of even out a little bit. It could also result in this color being a bit faded, which would make me a little sad, but I guess we'll find out. This is probably going to be a little too big on me because it already fits very loosely, and when I block things, they usually get bigger. It's also covered in dog hair because my dogs get into everything. They're very furry. Yeah. I love my dogs, by the way, but I kind of sometimes want to give them away. My dogs are alarm dogs in every sense of the word. They are like burglar alarms. If they hear anything or see anyone outside my house, they're going to lose their minds and bark. But they're also alarm clock dogs, and their alarm clock is set for about 6 a.m. but sometimes it's set for 4:30, and so sometimes they wake me up very early, and I don't think very generous thoughts about them when they do that. But they're also really cute and they're very sweet, and I've had them since they were babies. They're 8 years old now, so they're old people now. I digress. You're also probably not going to see them on this podcast because when they see me talking to a screen, they lose their minds. And Linus, my boy dog, when he has a lot of anxiety, and so when he starts panicking, he like whine cries / screams. It's the weirdest sound I've ever heard from a dog. I mean, he sounds like a husky. He's not, and he's just inconsolable until you like stop what you're doing and give him attention. So anyway, so my next whip is my Alpenglow, and it's in this beautiful project bag by Mishnak, I believe is how you pronounce it. I believe she's Canadian, and so this is Harris tweed on the outside, the leather strap, and then it's got one of my favorite Liberty prints on the inside, and then all my yarn. It's also got really good pockets, so it's very sturdy. So like I don't ever close this. I'm sure if I did more it would get easier and it would soften up, but I like that it stays open like this. So, and I like that it kind of matches my Alpenglow. So I went over the saga of this sweater last time, but I think it's actually going really well. So this is what I have. Oh, where'd it go? Okay, there we go. This is how much I've done. So last time I was like here, and then I kind of waited to do it until I'd split for the sleeves on my Monday sweater because I needed some brain space. But I love how this Dead Reckoning, I love that it's got like a little pinker part right there, and then I love that this one is like blue and then like a lavender. So it's really, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. In the pattern, I think she tells you just to go to like the second row of blips and then split for the sleeves. But when I tried it on, it was a little bit too snug. So I added an extra repeat before I split. It might still be a little bit too snug, but I think it'll block so I'm not too worried about it. It fits. Like I'm not worried about that. I'm just making sure. Okay, good. I'm not going to drop any stitches. This mosaic knitting for the blips is so fun. It's like, I don't know, it's really fun to do. So it's basically, you do 2 rows of mosaic and then 8 rows of stockinette. And it's just really fun. I will say, this dyed in the skein feels kind of rough when you're knitting with it. I was actually getting a little bit worried that this was gonna be like too rough for me to wear, but then I gave it a quick steam, and it softened up a lot with a little steam. So I think when you actually like wet block this, it's gonna get a lot softer. So my goal by next time I record is to have the body done. We'll see. It is like sport weight yarn, so let's be real, it's almost fingering, but I think it's gonna be fine. So I'll knit like the wind. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to say about this. I'm really liking it. I'm excited to hopefully get to wear it in Rhinebeck. I've been kind of checking the weather app periodically, and it's still like in the 80s, which is kind of gross. But hopefully it will cool off in the next month. Okay, my next whip is like, I think it's gotten too big for this this project bag, so it probably needs to get moved to a different one. So this is in a project bag by, I think it's a company called the Lemonade Shop. It's on Etsy. Her shop has been closed for a while, and I'm not entirely sure why. I love this project bag. It's actually one of my favorites. So this is probably my favorite Liberty print. I love it so much. I don't know what it's called, but I like it. I like the little side handle. I like that I prefer a project bag that zips. I wouldn't even dream of zipping this right now because it doesn't fit anyway. But it's generally a pretty good to go project size, and it fits in my bag. So anyway, this is the 50/50 triangles wrap. And someone pointed out after last video that I was saying that this was stockinette stitch, and it's not. This is garter stitch. So I think what tripped me up was the fact that it's garter knit flat, and so you're only ever doing a knit stitch, which is kind of similar to stockinette stitch in the round. I think that's where my brain was, but it's definitely garter stitch. So I finished the neon yellow green limoncello part, and then I decided to add a stripe of pink in there just for funsies. Actually now Purl Soho has an updated 50/50 wrap that is it's striped intentionally, and I think it looks really pretty. They also have new colors, but I digress. We'll talk about that later. So this is all I've done of the second triangle that I'm really liking. I think that's kind of a fun color combo. I really debated on what color to use for this. I have, oh, this is embarrassing. I'm gonna show you guys this, but don't judge me too hard. Sorry, I just saw something that looked, okay, I'm getting distracted. Now I've got something weird all over my hands. I don't know if I'll be able to get this out. I have a problem with buying advents and then not using them. So, okay, don't judge me too harshly for this. This is all my minis from advents. Oh, there's hair on it, that I've never used. I actually have a plan for this. I want to make, I forget the name of it. I will try to, if I can remember the name of it, I'll put it like here or here somewhere. And I actually heard about this from Emma from the Woolly Mammoth podcast, or yeah, podcast. It's something petals cowl, but there's two options for, there's the DK and there's a fingering. And I thought most of my minis are in fingering, so I could hold them double, and then when I do come across a mini that is a DK, I can just single strand it. But you can just like mix and match however you want, and this is like the perfect. I will be honest, I bought like 3 advent calendars for this year, and I have no business ordering any more mini skeins. Oh gosh. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I do it because I like opening things in December, and I find that fun. Something to look forward to every morning. So I ordered several of them. But I'm gonna have to address this because I'm running out of room. That's the only spot I have on these shelves for minis, and I need to clear that off. Wow, I digressed. So anyway, so I went through all my different options to, actually I just remembered, I do have another. There's a little basket down there that's full of minis. If you have any suggestions for minis that isn't a blanket, because I already have several blankets that I'm working on, and I am not letting myself start another blanket until I finish some. And I'll talk about those on later podcasts. But if you have a suggestion, I'm probably going to do that cowl. But yeah, if you have something else, please let me know. I've also thought about doing the sea glass sweater, but that just looks like a lot of work. So anyway, so I added a stripe. I might work on this hem today because it's just really relaxing. And I want it, this is the fun part when it's like you make progress really fast. It's not until you get like here that it starts taking forever because every row gets bigger. I would say that's actually the only thing I don't like about this project, is that the way that they, you build it, I wish you could like end on little rows because it would feel like you're going faster, but you end on the longest row. Anyway, that's that. Okay. So that is all of my whips. I have a few projects that I'm thinking about making. And I have some yarn and stuff that I bought. Let's see. So let's start with this. So I have had, so I'll show you the yarn. I've had this yarn in my stash for a little bit. This is the Quartet Bulky from Magpie Fibers, and this is in the Bougie Beaver colorway. And I have it in, where did the other one go? Yeah, this is the other one. This is in Midnight Train to Georgia, which is like a really pretty navy. This yarn is, oh my goodness, delightful. It is 100% super fine superwash merino. It's 106 yards and 100 grams. So I have these two colors. I mean, I guess you could put them together. I guess I could make like a cowl, but I'm probably not going to. Because I saw this hat on Instagram, and I'll try to put a picture here. It's called the Tiilda hat, and I forget who makes it. I will try to include that too. I believe it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's for bulkier yarn. And so I thought it would be perfect with this. And so I also figured it would knit up really quickly. So it would be a nice palette cleanser. I actually had planned to bring this to church to knit on the other day, but then I realized it's cabled, and I can't knit without, I can't do cables without a cable needle. I know that some people can. I've tried it. It stresses me out. I also don't see super well, like really up close or in dim lighting. And so I would be like panicked that I was going to drop a stitch the whole time. So this will probably just be an at home or like a weekend knit maybe. But yeah, so that's the Tiilda hat. The other thing I had talked about making last time with these two yarns was the Lento sweater, and I still want to make that, But then I was watching the Grocery Girls, and well, they gave me an idea. I didn't create this idea, but they're doing it with some sparkle. And I happen to have some of this Cosmos. I don't know that you can really call this yarn. This is too synthetic for me to call. This is too far away from yarn, but it's like thread with little sequins on it, and it's so fun. I actually bought it in the Magpie Darling kit from the Crafty Jackalope, and then I never knit the hat, so I had some of this, and so I knit a swatch, and like, look at how cool that is. I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I definitely want to knit a sparkly sweater. What's annoying is most of the sparkles ended up on that reverse stockinette side, which is just annoying. I like the swatch. It's a little itchy, mostly I think because of the mohair. And I've mentioned before that I don't love mohair, so you might be wondering why I'm now gonna knit a sweater with mohair. I don't know. I like the look of mohair. That's what's hard. I really like the way it looks, and it like makes really light garments that don't pill. But I don't like wearing mohair, so it's my dilemma. But anyway, so I was going to do the Lento with this, but then I kind of started having a change of heart because I really like this yarn, and I had bought it to make a sweater with it. And so I was actually thinking of maybe making like a no frills out of this, and I just kind of felt like it a little bit got lost in this. Not really, I guess, but I don't know. I kind of just wanted this to be its own thing. And then I remembered that I have a sweater's quantity of worsted twist, and it's in the red plum colorway. It's not really red though, it's very like plum. And I thought these could go really well together, or I could just maybe get away with just this and then that. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I know some people said the Lento tends to work better with like thinner yarns, but I kind of want it to be a little bit more substantial. I don't want to be able to I don't want there to be holes in it that you can see through. I want it to be pretty solid. And I know if I use the mohair, that'll fill in the holes so it won't look as see-through. And should I still do the sparkles? I don't know. So like, what do you guys think? Should I keep it as it was? Should I do this without sparkles? Should I do these two together? Should I do just this one? I don't know. If you have comments or you have thoughts on this, please tell me. I'm probably gonna just, oh, yep, that's mohair in my mouth. That's another reason I don't like mohair. Oh no, yarn down. It's okay. So yeah, I'll probably just kind of sit on this for a little bit and think about it. There's also Cagery just put up a testing call. I think it's called the Dartmoor sweater. I'll try to, if I can find a picture, I'll put one here. And it looks so pretty. It also uses mohair. So I thought maybe I could just save this and knit that without the sparkle. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be like picking mohair off my lips all day now. So I thought maybe I could save it and do that. I don't know. I like the Lento. I've heard it's very similar to the no frills. It's just a bigger gauge. So it's like a speedier no frills. So I do still want to knit it, but I don't know what combo I want to use anymore. We'll see. Okay. Oh, the other thing, I'm like kind of dying to knit, but I don't really, I guess I kind of have yarn I could use, but it doesn't feel right. So it's the Amphora pullover by Purl Soho. It's actually by somebody else for Purl Soho, but I'm so afraid if I try to say her name, I'm gonna just butcher it. So I will write it here, and at some point I will learn to pronounce it. But I'll put a picture. Oh man, I almost dropped yarn in my coffee. Oh, that would have been so bad, because it was this color. Eeh, okay, glad I missed. So anyway, so I will try to put a picture of the Amphora pullover here. I think it is stunning. It's knit in sport weight yarn. She actually knits it in widgeon. This is blowing out like crazy. This is not this orange. So I actually had 2 skeins of widgeon. This is warm ivory and this is orange carmine. So this is Falkland merino, Falkland wool, Falkland merino, 100% fine Falkland merino. It's a sport weight. This is a very sturdy yarn. It has a little bit of a scratch, but not as bad as like this thing did. It's a very round yarn. It feels hefty. And I do think it would really show the rib stitch and like the I don't know if it's twisted rib or what, but it would really show this off. I'm gonna stop showing this one because it's so orange. But this I like. And they had this on sale. But I think for my size, I would need, it was like 8 or I think it was 10 balls. And this stuff is not super cheap. It's not like crazy expensive, but it's definitely not super affordable either. And I am trying to save up a little bit so that I can lose restraint at Rhinebeck. And so I decided to wait on this. I would still like to knit it in this. I also couldn't decide on a color. And so that I kind of want to wait and see if they like either come up with new colors or if one just starts speaking to me more. But I also want to see if I can find something like this at Rhinebeck. So yeah, if I can find something that has a similar characteristic to this at Rhinebeck, I'll probably do that. And then, yeah, that may be one of my favorite sweaters ever. Fingers crossed, I hope so. Whew. I've had a lot of coffee today. I don't normally drink this much coffee. I usually make 1 cup of coffee and just kind of sip on it throughout the day. But I'm on cup number 2. I'm going to get coffee later today with some new knitting friends. Very excited about that. So I'm gonna be like, actually coffee for me, because I have a little bit of ADHD, it just actually kind of brings me down a little bit, but too much makes my heart race. Getting off topic again. Okay, so let's talk about one more purchase. Well, there's more purchases, but this is the last one that I have plans for. So I don't know what made me do this, but I bought more yarn from Earl Grey Fiber. It's so pretty. Obviously, I've got like a red theme going on right now. I think it looks good on me, but I'm not normally a red person. I mean, I like red. I guess I have red in my yarn stuff, and I have red sweaters, but I tend to go like dark red, and this is very bright red, and I love it. I love mixing pink and red. It's one of my favorite color combos. So this is her Camellia fingering. It's 100% organic merino. It's 437 yards and 100 grams. And I got blush and poppy. And my plan for this is to knit the Quill Tee by Tif Neilan. I've been seeing a lot of these lately, and I think they're so pretty. I actually really like it when people use very low contrast yarns for this sweater or this t-shirt. I think it's really intriguing when there's low contrast, because at first when you look at it, you think it's just one color, and then you realize there's actually this really intricate color work in a very similar color value. And it almost makes you want to like stop and look at it. But these were just calling to me. And so maybe before Rhinebeck, I'll make this. I mean, I need to make it soon, because by the time I make it, it's gonna start being too cold. Maybe, who knows? Oklahoma winters are hit or miss. I'm really hoping we get a really cold winter, because then I can wear all my knits. But if we don't have a really cold winter, not gonna be a ton of that. So hopefully we get a cold one. But I'm gonna try to do this. I have no idea when, but it'll happen. Okay. So the next yarn purchase I made was from Purl Soho, and this was from their Labor Day sale, I believe. And I kept telling myself, like, I don't need anything. I definitely don't need more linen quill, because that is all linen quill. There's a little bit of linen quill worsted, which I've never used yet, but I do like it. But I was looking, and I don't know, this color has been calling to me lately. And it's funny because to me, this looks like the Cookie Monster. But I love it. So I ordered 3 because I can no longer buy 1 skein of linen quill because I instantly think half and half wrap. So I got 3 of these, and I think I have, this is one I had from the shelf. This is actually the worsted, but it's in the color Pale Oats. And so I was kind of thinking I could mix these together, but I don't know, this gives me really strong Cookie Monster vibes. I don't know why the white does that. Does this make anybody else think of the Cookie Monster? I kind of like it though. So I don't know, I might go with this. I might try, I could do like, have like a pale lavender. Let me grab it. Lavender opal. Ooh, that could be pretty. I like that. Let me turn it around so you can actually see the yarns together. Maybe I'll do that instead. I really like mixing super brights and like outrageous colors with very muted and like reserved colors. I don't know, that's fun to me. So we'll see. I have like half of the yarn appears for a blanket that I haven't knit on since March. I was supposed to knit 1 column every month for 12 months, and I made it to March. So a lot of this will go into that blanket. But then I have a sweater's quantity of 1 color. I think I have a sweater's quantity of like 3 colors. I'm trying to remember what else. And then I have enough for like 3 half and half wraps. And I bought more. It's not here yet, but they came up with new colors and they're beautiful. So I bought a sweater's quantity of 1, and I bought half of a half and half wrap in another that I'm just gonna find something in here to go with. Ridiculous, right? But then, okay, so the other thing I bought on the Labor Day sale was another skein of worsted twist. And this is a newer color. This is called Reed Gray. And this is actually one of the new colors that Linen Quill is in now. Sorry, this is, I don't know why these earbuds start hurting after a certain amount of time. This is so soft. I love this stuff. It just feels like a pillow. So this is probably going to be a hat, but I haven't decided which hat yet. Actually, ooh. So this is another thing I got. Ooh, actually, still Cookie Monster vibes. So let's talk about those. Where'd the other one go? There it is. Okay. So the grocery girls sell pom-poms. They're from the Yarn Roller, and they had a sale. So I bought some. So I got that blue. I got kind of a blush pink and a dove gray. And I love these pom-poms. So there they are for size, in case anyone was wondering. But the other thing I really like about them is they all come with this little foam button. And so you take this off the ribbon, you put it on the inside of the hat, and then you weave your ribbons down through it, and you kind of snug it back up and tie a bow. And so that keeps your pom-pom really sturdy, because if you didn't have that there and you just tied it, the pom-pom's just gonna like I don't know what you call that, flail around on the top of the hat. But when you put this button, it like really keeps it sturdy. And so, I don't know, it just keeps them in place, keeps them looking a little bit neater. And it's foam, so it doesn't hurt. But you can also take it all off when you need to wash the hat, so you don't have to worry about it like probably disintegrating in the wash. And I believe these are all faux fur. None of these are real fur. I mean, I don't know what animal that would have come from. Like something from like Alice in Wonderland. So the other thing that's funny is I swear I took this out of my basket before I checked out. Sorry, I don't know why this hurts so bad. But I guess I didn't. It was on my receipt, so I paid for it. But these are the little bitty ones. And I love the color. I wish they would make these in the full size because I'd buy it in a heartbeat. But I just thought I took it. My plan was to take them off because I don't know what I'm going to use these for because they're so little. Like, this is not going on top of a hat for me. Maybe if my nieces get hats for Christmas, but even that, like for a 4-year-old hat, that's too small. Maybe on a newborn hat, that'd be okay. But, or maybe I'll like make myself one of those like hats with a long tie thing and I'll put them at the end. I don't know. These will probably just hang around until I find the right use for them. But, okay. I have a few more things and then I'm done. I'm going to take a break real quick. Okay. So, the next thing I bought was from an Instagram ad. So it's this company called All Stitch Studio. I've never heard of them before, but maybe other people have. But they have these little flower stitch markers. I don't know how I'm gonna show them to you guys, but they have the cool toned and the warm toned. And so I got the cool toned ones. I'll like dump them all over the floor. But they're these cutie little flowers. Oh, dang. One of them's down. I'll find it eventually. Let's try this another time. So there's one of them. I don't know if you can see that or not. But they're little flowers. They're metal. They're really cute. And I think I got the smaller size. They go up to a size 8 US needle. But I really like them. So, and they come in this cute little pouch. I may never find that other one, if I'm honest. It may just belong to the yarn store now. So I got those. And then part of my, so the next thing is part of my Purl Soho order. And I mentioned last time that I do my best online shopping first thing in the morning when I wake up or right before bed. But one of the downfalls of that is sometimes you order things you forgot you ordered. And then when you get them, it's a surprise. So this time what I ordered was the little sweater comb from Purl Soho. And it comes in this cute little pouch, which is adorable. So I have their big one that's like a rake. So if those of you who don't know what these are, this is to help with pilling. So when your sweater, especially really soft yarns, they will pill over time. And so you basically just like run this down the sweater and it pulls all those pills off. And so it just keeps your sweater looking a lot neater and making it not look old and worn out. So I have the big one, but then I thought if I'm going to travel with knitwear, it'd be nice to have a little travel size one. Now I don't know if this is safe for cashmere or like really soft yarns. I probably should have looked at that, but maybe I'll try it out on my swatch and see. But anyway, so I have my little travel comb in its cute little pouch. But yeah, that was a fun little surprise when I got it and I was like, I forgot I ordered that. It's cool. At least it wasn't, you know, something huge. And then the last thing I purchased this week was a project bag from Tana Casey. So she had these scrappy bags made out of Liberty London scraps. And I love Liberty London, and I just think this is such a fun bag. It's so colorful. And I love the idea of just like using up scraps so you don't have a bunch of waste. And then the back is just chambray. It's got a canvas lining, and I like this little bead on the zipper pull. I think that's really cute. So this is probably too small to fit like a sock in. I actually tried fitting like a skein of fingering weight in here, and it like barely fit. So I don't think you could fit a sock and a skein of yarn in this, but this is probably gonna be like a notions pouch for me when I travel. It's a little big for a notions pouch. I guess you could use it as a makeup bag, but I really don't wear very much makeup, so I don't know. Plus I'd be worried if things spilled in here because it's canvas. I guess you could wash it. I'm probably overthinking this. I'll probably just use it as like a notions pouch, but anyway, it's really cute and I like it. Ooh, I didn't even see that one. Look at that one. So pretty. Okay, where's my coffee? So that is all my knitting and my acquisitions for this week. I had several people comment on my last post or last video about a different solution for bringing home yarn from Rhinebeck, and a lot of people suggested that I mail it home. And I'd thought of that before, but I was like, that means I have to go stop by a post office like on Saturday because I'm flying out on Sunday, and so I'm like, I'd have to like go before they close that day, and I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know, I might not be able to do that actually the more I think about it. Maybe if I like mailed everything home that I got on Friday and then all I had to bring back was the stuff I got on Saturday, I might do that. But yeah, so I was kind of resistant to that idea at first because I didn't want to have to go by like a mail office, post office. But then like the list of things I want to bring with me to Rhinebeck kept getting longer. And I just realized that like, I'm just not gonna be able to fit stuff in my suitcases. So I'm probably gonna mail stuff home. I'm actually a pretty low maintenance traveler. I'm good with re-wearing things and I pack pretty well. So like my big trip for work it's like 2 weeks after Rhinebeck. I'm also just bringing a carry-on for that. So, and that's an international trip, so that's gonna be interesting. But I'm determined, I'm very stubborn, and I'm gonna make it work. So if I look funny, that's why. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. I have no idea how long I've talked for. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great weekend or had a great weekend. I hope you have a good week going forward. Again, thank you so much to everybody who liked and subscribed and everybody who commented. You guys, like, you really encouraged me to keep doing this. I'm so happy that you guys enjoyed it. I think that, like, for me, the compliment that just hit home the best was several people said it felt like they were just sitting and knitting with a friend. And that's what I would love to do, is just create a community where everybody's welcome just to come sit and knit with me, and just talk about yarny goodness. So I hope you guys have a great week. I already said that. Sorry, I'm repeating myself because I'm rambling now. But I will see you guys. I think I'm going to try to podcast again the first Sunday of October. I really wanted to do it every 2 weeks, but I just don't think I'm going to be able to because of other commitments. So I'm going to try to do it again in 3 weeks. And then after that, I'm going to try to do it every 2 weeks. We'll see. We'll see if that works. But I'll probably like put an Instagram post when I'm getting ready to podcast. I also forgot to mention this last time. So if you want to find me, I have an Instagram that's Sunday Knitting Society. And I'm also on Ravelry. I'm Raleigh St. Clair. I'll try to like write that down here. So if you want to peep at some of my other projects or add me as a friend on Ravelry, I don't know how that works, honestly. Like, it feels weird. So I've friended a couple people, but like I don't really know how that works. But if you want to friend me, go for it. I don't know that I'll be able to see that. I don't know. But yeah, that's where you can find me, is Instagram and Ravelry. But it's good talking with you guys, and I will see you in a few weeks. Bye.